When military analysts discuss Swedish aviation power, names like the Saab 35 Draken, the Saab 37 Viggen, and the modern JAS 39 Gripen immediately dominate the conversation. Yet, not a single one of these legendary interceptors ever fired a shot in real combat. Throughout more than 70 years of cutting-edge jet development, only one indigenous Swedish jet fighter ever went to war, dropped bombs, and engaged hostile forces in combat. That aircraft is the rotund machine known to history as the Saab 29 Tunnan, famously nicknamed the Flying Barrel. Behind its bulky appearance stood an engineering marvel that stunned Western aviation. In 1945, Swedish engineers accessed advanced German swept-wing aerodynamic research from Messerschmitt. By mounting a 25-degree swept wing around the massive Svenska Flygmotor RM-2B turbojet engine, Sweden achieved an aerodynamic breakthrough. On September 1, 1948, the Saab 29 took to the skies, officially becoming the first mass-produced swept-wing jet fighter in Western Europe. The performance numbers quickly silenced every critic. On May 6, 1954, a Swedish J-29 set a world speed record over a 500-kilometer closed circuit at 977 kilometers per hour. On March 23, 1955, a pair of J-29 fighters broke the 1,000-kilometer closed-circuit record at 900.6 kilometers per hour, reaching a maximum operational speed of 1,060 kilometers per hour, equivalent to Mach 0.86. Yet the biggest mystery remains how an aircraft engineered purely for territorial homeland defense ended up deployed over 6,000 kilometers away into the heart of Africa in 1961. Before we go on, what do you think made this unlikely fighter so formidable in the skies? Make sure to subscribe to the channel and tell me where you are watching from. In September 1961, the newly independent Republic of the Congo fractured into severe geopolitical crisis when the mineral-rich province of Katanga declared secession. The United Nations peacekeeping force on the ground found itself trapped in an impossible position. At the town of Jadotville, 155 Irish peacekeepers were surrounded and under relentless pressure. The primary tactical problem was that the United Nations had no combat air support, while the Katangi's secessionist forces operated a single Fauga Magister armed jet trainer flown by foreign mercenaries. This lone aircraft dominated the airspace, attacking ground positions and transport planes without facing any airborne challenge. The Secretary General of the United Nations issued an urgent international appeal for modern fighter aircraft to re-establish air control. In response, Sweden took an unprecedented geopolitical step. On October 4, 1961, the initial 4 J-29B Tunnan fighters of the dedicated F-22 Expeditionary Wing touched down in Leopoldville, bearing the blue and white insignia of the United Nations. It marked the first time in United Nations history that offensive jet fighters were deployed under its mandate to conduct active combat air operations. The operational environment at the Kamina airfield in Katanga presented an extreme logistics nightmare. Temperatures routinely exceeded 35 degrees Celsius, relative humidity surpassed 80%, and the unpaved runways were coated in thick red laterite dust. Western axial flow jet engines would have suffered severe foreign object damage under such conditions. However, the robust centrifugal compressor of the Svenska Flygmotor RM-2B engine delivering 27 kilonewtons of thrust, proved exceptionally resilient against the dust and debris. Coupled with wide landing gear that absorbed harsh ground impacts, the J-29B transformed from a Scandinavian interceptor into a reliable expeditionary attack platform, ready to shift the tactical balance across the African skies. To dismantle the Kattlinge's air threat, the Swedish pilots relied on the devastating forward firepower of the J-29B. The nose of the aircraft housed four 20mm Hispano-Suiza automatic cannons with 180 rounds per gun, delivering a combined rate of fire of 3,000 rounds per minute. Because the cannons were concentrated along the center fuselage axis, rather than dispersed across the wings, the projectile trajectory remained tightly clustered and lethal at high speed. Under the wings, the aircraft carried up to 14 145mm and 150mm Bofors unguided ground attack rockets. In December 1961, the United Nations launched Operation UNOCAT to neutralize hostile airfields. Rather than attempting high-altitude dogfights against an elusive enemy, Swedish pilots executed aggressive nap of the Earth flight paths at near-sonic velocities, flying below the engagement envelope of ground anti-aircraft weapons. In coordinated strikes against the air bases at Kolwezi and Jadotville, the J-29B fighters pulverized the mercenary aircraft on the ground, destroying their hangars and fuel depots within 48 hours. Total air superiority was decisively established over the region. Recognizing the effectiveness of the deployment, Stockholm reinforced the detachment in late 1962, dispatching 4 additional J-29B fighters alongside 2 specialized S-29C photo reconnaissance variants equipped with 6 high focal length cameras. During Operation Grand Slam in January 1963, the S-29C units located camouflaged mercenary strongholds hidden beneath the jungle canopy, directing surgical rocket attacks that crippled the remaining secessionist defenses. When the campaign concluded, the operational record was definitive. Despite sustaining intense ground fire that left numerous bullet holes across the reinforced aluminum fuselages, exactly 0 Saab 29 fighters were lost to enemy combat action, cementing a flawless tactical performance under the United Nations flag. When the United Nations mandate officially concluded in 1964, the victorious Swedish detachment faced a harsh operational reality. Back in Sweden, the Mach 2-capable Saab 35 Draken was already entering service, making the subsonic J-29 technically obsolete for European defense. Because the financial and logistical cost of flying the aircraft over 6,000 kilometers back to Scandinavia exceeded their remaining airframe value, only 4 aircraft returned home. The remaining operational fighters were stripped of critical instruments and systematically demolished with explosive charges on the tarmac at Kamina to prevent advanced military technology from falling into non-state hands. Yet the legacy forged by the Flying Barrel transformed Swedish military doctrine forever. The harsh conditions in Central Africa validated Stockholm philosophy that high-performance combat jets must remain capable of operating from dispersed, austere highway strips maintained only by basic conscript crews. This direct operational insight shaped the short takeoff requirements of the subsequent Saab 37 Viggen and directly inspired the low-maintenance, rapid turnaround architecture of the modern JAS-39 Gripen. The story of the J-29 proves that true military capability is defined by rugged engineering, operational readiness, and pilot proficiency, rather than sleek aesthetics alone. While Sweden advanced into supersonic territory with some of the most sophisticated interceptors of the Cold War, this rotund machine remains the sole Swedish-designed jet to test its mettle in active combat and achieve total air superiority without losing a single aircraft to hostile action. Do you believe modern 5th and 6th generation fighter designs have prioritized stealth and elegance over the rugged, low-cost survivability that made the Saab 29 so effective in austere expeditionary warfare? Share your perspectives in the comments below.